About a month ago, I finished reading the book Fairy Tale by Stephen King. It's a fantastic read, and one quote in particular keeps popping into my mind. It goes like this: It made me sad, the same way I felt when I saw someone blind or a person in a wheelchair who was never going to walk again. Most people like that don't want pity. They cope with their disabilities, help others, live good lives. They're brave. I get all that. Yet it seemed to me, maybe because everything in my personal system was working five by five, that there was something mean about having to deal with such things, out of whack and unfair. These words struck me, and I think it's because it's a helpful way to frame why people can be so weird or uncomfortable or rude or awkward in their interactions with disabled people. And disabled people aren't exempt from this kind of behavior. I mean, we've been known to internalize feelings of inferiority, and we've been known to treat each other with prejudice within our own communities. These are extremely relatable words spoken by a fictional character. He's contemplating why he feels sad when he encounters a disabled person, and he concludes that it's because it seems mean, out of whack, and unfair that disabled people have been dealt a particular hand. So let's zoom out for a minute. How do you react when things feel mean, out of whack, and unfair? You get angry, frustrated, sad, or annoyed. Maybe you feel happy because the unfairness is in your favor. But then you feel guilty for feeling happy. There could be some fear that the injustice might happen to you one day. So then what do? You might choose to fight the injustice, avoid it. Maybe you might try to take control by problem solving. Or perhaps you pretend that it doesn't exist at all because, frankly, that can be a little bit easier and more convenient. Let's zoom back in and use this quote as a frame to hold some considerations. I've come up with three questions you can ask when experiencing one of those weird interactions. And here they are. One, in this situation, what seems mean, out of whack, and unfair? Two, how am I reacting to it? Three, what opportunities might arise if I shifted my way of thinking about this? Why don't we look at some examples? Consider a disabled person who is having a hard time getting a job because hiring managers immediately lose interest as soon as disability is disclosed. They express this frustration to an able bodied friend, and the friend says, "That can't be what is happening. I mean, that's illegal. Like, discrimination is illegal." And so here we are, and this person is, pretending that this injustice doesn't exist. And if we look at it through the frame of the quote, we could ask those three questions. Question one: in this situation, what seems mean, unfair, and out of whack? If I'm the disabled person in the scenario, I might say that my friend is being mean and unfair by dismissing my experience. And if I'm the able bodied friend, I might say it seems really mean and unfair that a company would do this to somebody. Question two: how am I reacting? So if I'm the disabled person, I might say, I'm feeling really hurt and angry that my friend doesn't believe me. Maybe we shouldn't be friends. And the able bodied person, if I'm them, I might admit that I'm dismissing my friend's experience because I simply can't believe that the law isn't working. And if I choose to believe them, then I have to admit that the protections we have in place don't always work. Question three: what opportunities might arise if I shifted my way of thinking about this? So, if I'm the disabled person, maybe I'll say, okay, I'm going to allow that my friend might be hesitant to confront this harsh reality. And here, there's an opportunity to feel some compassion and an opportunity to maintain our friendship. And if I'm the able bodied person in the scenario, I might say, if I choose to believe my friend, I can grow as a person, confront this injustice if I ever see it personally, and I can strengthen my friendship with this person. Here's another example. Consider a disabled person in the workplace that doesn't get invited out to drinks with the rest of the team after work. It's tough to say why exactly this happens, but potentially the coordinator is avoiding the disabled person for their own reasons. So, here again, we can use the frame of the quote to evaluate. What are your answers to these questions? One, in this situation, what seems mean, out of whack, and unfair? Two, how am I reacting to it? Three, what opportunities would arise if I shifted my way of thinking about this? And here's a last example. A company refuses to make their product accessible even though they have the means to do it. Again, please feel free to use the frame of the quote to ask those questions. When you look at the big picture of this, it makes so much sense why sometimes interactions with and amongst disabled people can be so fraught with weirdness, discomfort, cruelty, or awkwardness. These emotions are charged, and it's tough to face and analyze your own emotions. Change is a challenge. Why is this helpful? Well, the frame I created that was inspired by that Stephen King quote provides space for understanding and compassion while also allowing room to intervene, whether that be socially or internally. If you enjoyed this video and it got you thinking, please subscribe. If you want to talk more about this kind of stuff and work through it in one on one coaching, please head on over to my website. That link can be found in the video description. Thank you so much for watching.